IGJ not resolve this issue by now? What's holding back this matter? Eddie Tema saying that. This one says, the saying elections are won at the polling station is a myth. Rigging can happen during the transfer of data from the polling stations to the collation centers. Somebody's asking, can Afarajan come out of retirement? The tension will come from the EC, not party people. And this one says, I hope the National Peace Council has taken note of this that's happening concerning the EC to ensure the media doesn't cover. It says, please use your medium to call on the EC to order. Okay, after all, she was at the signing of the Peace Pact. This one says, we all understand why the NDC has been talking a lot. The EC behaves as though it wields so much power. And this one says, I overheard a group of people discussing internet outage during election day, or on election day in some African countries. It says, can you engage the comms minister and government on the assurance of internet connectivity during and after the elections? That's a very interesting one. This one says there have been problems with the whole electoral process, since it was as if the NDC was the only one fighting this. See what is happening now. A lot of lapses in the system, mistakes here and there. I saw the figure for the special voters and I said to myself, no, it was too low. Mauli from Committee 22. Kwesi Akwa from Sakumana says, where is the Peace Council in this EC versus media saga? An EC with the least approval rating and working under suspicion should not be taking these types of ad hoc decisions. What's the Electoral Commission hiding? Why are they trying to limit media coverage? We should all collectively put pressure on the EC to roll back this statement. This one says, EC is battling for space at collation centers. Where were the previous collation exercises done? And were there any issues of overcrowding recorded that distorted the quality of the exercises? Secondly, can't we change the centers with strict security protocols? And Kusitro is asking. Good morning, Bernard. What's going to happen to the recalled ballots? How is the EC going to ensure that they don't find their way into the ballot boxes? The EC said they were a listening EC, so they increased the cap. I laughed so hard.
Charlie.
Ken Accra says the media should resist this development with all its might. Once you allow these precedents to stand, you face the same across all sectors as well. This is a no-no. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And this one says, I think the EC is overstressing the issue of elections are won or lost at the polling station. Isn't it clear enough that errors and mistakes that the EC is frantically discovering and correcting within the last 2 weeks are enough to make a party or candidate win or lose unjustifiably? The EC is beginning to sound like a broken record.
I need to make a point, Anita. You see, because you have 40,000 polling stations, you've given almost 7,000 accreditations. You know that means that there are so many polling stations media will not be at. Okay, so already only EC and the parties are at all polling stations. Do you get the problem? Now you say elections are won and lost at polling stations. So you're basically saying that for elections, there's no media house in Ghana that can have 40,000 people at polling stations. So the best place for us to be sure that we are plugged into the process is the collation center. Do you understand my logic? So now if you are now trying to cap our access to that place, you're basically disenfranchising us from covering the election. So apart from political parties of a certain size and the EC itself, because even the police, they are so overstretched that they've had to have immigration prisons. Because in the past,
customs.
You did an experiment some time back. The number of policemen in Ghana was not up to the number of polling stations in Ghana. There was a time in Ghana where we have more police stations than policemen.
Now we have a little over 40,000.
You get it now, and police stations are 40,000.
Yeah, so we can't even.
And the police are not all going to leave the protection of their big shots and go there. Do you get my point? So, in a situation where, ideally, the best place for us to know that we are part of the process is the collation center. Now, you have had 4 years to plan where a collation center is. Now, you cannot tell me that. She was giving an example of saying, maybe 150 people in a room. Sky.
Which room?
Pick a constituency. Pick Medina constituency. Your collation center is basically gone. We have a new assembly hall. That assembly hall can take almost 2,000 people. Yep. It's a big room with a lot of light. Okay, there's a stage there, and there are so many people sitting out at the back. A journalist can even be at the back and cover it from the front. There are large churches in this and big mosques where you can use to do this if you want to. So for me, if the EC is minded for us to cover the election, they will find. You can't tell me that there's no hall to contain at least 500 people in every constituency.
It's not true.
I mean, come on. It's a problem that doesn't exist. That's diversionary, misguided, and it's for me.
Problems.
For me, when I even add the challenges with special voting, that a lot of us are not doing special voting, it's not positive.
Bernard, I go to talk some.
Yes.
Bernard.
Tomorrow Santa is the man in the studio.
Bernard, what the Electoral Commission has done is retrogressive. And Sky has said it in all no uncertain terms. Now, you've just made a point about PRESEC. I don't think there's a constituency in Ghana that doesn't have a secondary school. And I do not think there's a secondary school that does not have a dining hall or an assembly hall where you can do this accreditation.
Collation.
And I don't see why we are even restricting collation to your district office. EC district office are small offices. Why would you use your meeting room or your conference room for accreditation?
It doesn't
collation. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't even understand how this is coming up. First of all, EC, you are having problem with withdrawing electoral material, reprinting. You have so many problems. I don't see why media should be your problem. Now, if the Electoral Commission does not know, we are supposed to work with them. In fact, they should be happy that we are their centers. When the MPP primaries happened in Yendi, the confusion that happened was captured on camera, and that's how can we saw what happened. When
Ayawaso West
Wagon happened, our media people took the risk in the midst of everything and filmed those things for the Short Commission to use.
To supply our footage to them to do their work.
And Emil Short Commission relied on us and several other media houses to provide them with this information. When 2 Electoral Commission officers were collecting money from an official at an election center recently, it was the cameras of the media that brought that out, and the Electoral Commission decided to suspend them. So how do you come up with this idea? I don't know if this is allowed in law, but can we have a positive defiance? And I think this is the first time the media should have positive defiance. And I'm happy the GJ president has spoken the way he has spoken. Election day, we are going to work. It is our duty. That is what we have elected. And we've prepared for 4 years. We do this once in every 4 years. We should go to the election center, we should go to the coalition center, and we should defy any attempt to prevent us, because it is, even Jerry Rawlings' time, media people were, and that was the man who has just changed from
ballot boxes.
When he has moved from uniform to civilian, he allowed media people to cover. I don't see how
our accreditation form has a QR code, has the signature of the Electoral Commission chairperson, and has a photograph of the person.
And you say you don't like this one.
I don't know what else do you need? This is QR code, EC chair, photo of the journalist,
and the media house is covering.
The media house is also there. Yes. So how that?
And you don't trust this. You rather want to issue blank accreditations for the GJ to use discretion to distribute.
Initially, they were planning that their district officers will share that.
In fact, they said. There's one of our correspondents who told me that the EC director called him and said, "So what can we do? Because we will let you come, but who else can we bring?"
Can you imagine that?
And I was called last week by the regional EC office here in Greater Accra that they want us to give them 2 names of people right now who can come and cover their thing for them.
This thing they've asked their people to do, they have no clue how to do it.
They don't even know.
It is a knee-jerk thing. It is not planned. It's a planless thing. It's a very. It's not planned. It is not necessary.
Which means that the EC officials on the ground don't even know how to implement it.
How
you see,
it's the exercise of discretion, and in exercising discretion, it is a very difficult thing. Now you live in a constituency like Adenta. They say choose 8 media houses, and with the new number, it's going to be 12.
And there's no media house based in Adenta.
How are you going to choose 12 media houses?
There's no media house based in Adenta.
And if I show, I mean, the fact that
so imagine. So this is the problem. Tesano, you have about 6 media houses. Adenta has no media house. How are they going to do this? How is the district officer going to know which media house to cover Adenta or Bunkatamanso? Do you have any radio station based there?
And you take out newspapers, so your focus is only on broadcast media. And when I spoke to Bosman Asari on Eyewitness News, he said, others will feed off the rest of the media.
I think a few things. Kodio must issue a statement on this if they are minded in the consistency of coverage of elections. GJ, they've assured us to issue a statement with Giba. Kodio must issue a statement. Even the Peace Council must issue a statement. Because you see,
Spring Park must issue a statement.
There has to
Spring Park has been ignored, so they are not.
No, that is why.
That's why they issue a statement.
Yes.
I think,
and in fact, the association of the people, the new media people, bloggers, they also have to issue a statement collectively.
Yeah,
because look,
terrible.
It is a needless effort to get at something you have no business getting close to.
Our work is to shine light on the process, and you want to dim that light. And I don't understand why they would come up with such an idea. And for me, Bernard, I'm saying that the positive defiance is where the media should go until the EC comes up. And us to think that since last week when they issued that statement that, oh, we are listening EC, this is the best thing they could come up with. This is your listening. And you said something about the special voting. This man on my right, he votes in, what's the name of your village in Ketu South?
No, he moved. I think he moves in.
My constituency is Ketu South.
Good. Typically, he would go and vote today, so that on election day he has undivided voting.
Same as you.
Now I have to also travel, and so imagine going to Applau to go and vote.
So basically, they are asking you to choose
between voting and working.
Yes.
Which is not right.
This is especially bad because this is the first time we have a holiday before even our election day to plan. So for me, listening to the GJA president and the confusion between how the special voters list was to have been done, I think the EC's approach to the media has been very below par. All right, and the tragedy is that every major thing they call us, we go. Sometimes we are here, they call us and say, "Oh, we are doing something at 9 a.m." They call you sometimes very late, and we still go.
Yeah.
When they did the press conference last week, mind you, the biggest press conference they would do is the national one. There's never been overcrowding, even in their own EC hall, where all of us go and cover those announcements they make. We can be there, they'll say, we are going to burn some discarded. We will go at our own cost.
Yeah.
And then to now cover the most important leg of the election, you are coming up with an arbitrary number and explaining this very illogical decision, and especially now we will accept it.
But I said somewhere that on election after maybe December 9, if there's no journalist in the Electoral Commission's head office, Jean Mensa cannot even announce to us who the winner is. Ghanaians will not, unless he sends email or letters to all the parties.
Do Facebook Live.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Facebook Live is also media. Mass media is what you are preventing. So if you are preventing mass media, on the day after you've declared, collated everything, who are you going? How will you tell Ghanaians that, oh, this is the person who has been elected? Would you send them post office letter and say that media is critical, and for the constitution to make an announcement about the presence of media in the country and how it should not be disturbed, and for the Electoral Commission, and Jean Mensa, you were with IEA. We have worked with you, Institute of, you have, look, Boss Manasari, you are a media person, you are a creation of the media.
Stop it. They should stop it. They should stop it. Anyway, so let's move to a few other things. I had wanted to do an overview of the regions, but it seems as if we'll probably just take a couple of reports on special voting. So, Caleb, if there's any journalists covering, we can just talk to them about where they are. We'll probably get into the regional analysis tomorrow. We just have 15 minutes to go. So,
and Bernard, why is it that the media, the what do you call it, the political parties who should be beneficiaries of what the media does ordinarily, I'm not hearing them on this matter? It's such a shame.
No, we haven't highlighted. No, I actually think we need to highlight it more because you see, this
that's
issue,
why I was backing
this issue came up
Friday
on
or
Wednesday,
Thursday,
and then it went down based on what he said, that we sort of allowed ourselves to be hoodwinked into thinking that it will be withdrawn, only for it to re-emerge on Friday night. Okay, so we've actually only been back on air today. We ourselves as media, this is the first time. How many newspapers in all the press reported on Thursday that EC has withdrawn the thing? Because
when there's no circular,
when there was that program, the graphic program, they said, oh, he was going to review the position. So we ourselves as media, we have not covered it properly, because a lot of them are not even aware of the implications of what has been said. All right, so hopefully it's now that it's going to become a big issue again. Now, if we ourselves haven't given it the traction, why would somebody else come and give it traction for you?
Okay.
The parties are fighting their issue. They are fighting printing. Let's also fight our issue.
And Bernard, you see, now that it's almost late, I think what the EC should just come up and say that if you have an ID card from your media house, show it and cover the program on election day. In fact, the accreditation thing can stop everything. Forget all the accreditation.
Once a person has a photographic ID
of a media house with
a
a press jacket. I mean, you see, when you get to the voting center, there's always a barricade, and the media respects that. We don't enter and say, hey, we are media. We don't do that.
Sandra,
we respect, we work with the EC.
In 2014, I was in the US as part of the Edward Murrow Fellows. They were having a midterm election. I was just a Ghanaian journalist. I went to a place and they were voting, and I said, I'm a journalist. I spoke to officials.
They allow you.
Because they didn't ask me, do you have an American? Do you understand?
I work in the US.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to just have a chat with the guy. Spoke to me. This is how he even explained the voting process to me. I was a Ghanaian journalist, 2014. in the US. This is in Florida. So I'm surprised that we are trying to make it even some hundious process.
In the audio clip of Jimensa you played, she said that they are giving the accreditation free of charge. As if free of charge is like
charge?
So he wanted to charge us to give us accreditation. I don't. She didn't use that at all. We give you a budget annually.
You add the accreditation to the budget. Isn't our MPs who accredit?
And you are saying you give it to us free of charge, as if it's some achievement.
And the EC's budget, I don't think it's a budget that usually gets contested.
Usually, when they go to Parliament will say yes, because this is such a sensitive issue that. In fact, some people were even saying that when the EC refused to reprint, the issue when Equiadon caused death. Some people were saying that the reason the EC decided to maintain the ballot with Equiadon caused name was cost saving. Some people said, well, a credible election is more important than any cost you can save. So when it comes to certain items on election credibility,
non-negotiable.
People don't really look at the cost because the EC itself has spent a lot of money doing many things, and they've not been questioned because everybody says, well, if you think peace is expensive, try the alternative. All right, so they've almost had a blank check. So to go and say you are doing the printing free of charge for me is
for me. You see, they did this. Jimensa chaired the election for us in 2020, and we didn't have this. So I'm surprised that it's not as if this is the first time. 2016, we saw our accreditations come with strange names. Risma was called Richard Sly on his ID card. Mine had some weird name on it and all of that. And that was what 2016 is what 8 years ago. And we thought we have moved away from issues of accreditation. Why should we today be talking about accreditation? I don't even think accreditation should even be an issue in this election at all. We should be rather concerned about, BVDs are missing. Those fights that the NDC and the EC are
maybe because we are told that there's fake news, so they are thinking that non-journalists should not be allowed to pretend to be journalists.
So in fact,
but that involves two things. We, the media ourselves, have to have some standards. So I have no problem with GJA and GIBA leading such a process, because somebody can claim to be a journalist and go and do something in your name, which is why a lot of times when people put things on social media and it's not true, they tend to blame us. So the idea of accreditation is not necessarily a bad thing. Doing it with well-recognized media groups like Primpag, GJA and GIBA is the way to go. All right, but trying to limit it with an arbitrary cap on the basis of overcrowding is essentially
and public safety. And in giving accreditation, you give blank accreditation when you are trying to fight fake news. It means
the time with which they thought about that, and now they can't even get photo accreditation. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
From the comforting hugs and reconnecting moments to the thoughtful eulogies, funerals, whether big or small, must be dignifying. And that's what Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium was set up for. From our state-of-the-art facilities for preserving remains, through our 450-seater chapel to our meticulously managed cemetery, we've got these and everything else you might need in one place. So if sending a loved one off in a dignified manner matters to you, reach out to Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium immediately you lose a loved one. Call us on 050-953-2409 or visit us at lashibifuneralhomes.com. Lashibi Funeral Homes and Crematorium. Dignity for the deceased, comfort for the bereaved.
What happens when ancient days meets modernity? What happens when a goddess wakes up in an era of digital chaos? Witness the epic battle between the past and the present. Catch the intrigue and suspense in Amwanime's era, a brand new epic telenovela showing Mondays to Fridays on Aquaba Magic, DSTV channel 150 and Go TV channel 102. Available on DSTV Access and Go TV Plus. Dial *759# to stay connected.
Ojam, did you know the NDC once promised a one-time premium for NHIS?
Yeah, but when they won the elections, they could not implement it and almost collapsed the NHIS. Today, this same man is promising Mahama Care and free primary health care.
They think we are kids in this country. We don't have short memories, like Mahama said. Remember the capitation pilot in Ashanti? You were stuck with one health facility, no matter what.
That was so limiting. But look at us now under the MPP. There's real change.
The MPP expanded NHIS coverage to include serious conditions like childhood cancer, sickle cell disease, and kidney dialysis for children under 18 years and old people from 60 years and above. Today, with just a short code, you can renew your insurance.
Truly, the NPP has restored our hope in the health system. See the Agenda 111 and other new hospitals are springing up everywhere.
So, this election, let's vote for continuity. Let's vote to protect our healthcare. We will not fall for fake promises again.
Hello, boss. I just drove out of your premises. I've called you several times. Boss, I beg.
I gave you an opportunity to present your proposal with your financial statements. You didn't. If we approve and request for an invoice, that will take you another month, eh? You couldn't even provide receipts from the last job. My brother, we have given the contract to someone else who promptly furnished us with what we needed. Get serious.
Yehovah.
Don't be caught in this mess ever again. Restart with Build. Build provides businesses with a comprehensive accounting software with features that make your bookkeeping, accounting, tax, and payroll functions seamless. Our support team is always available to assist and respond to all your inquiries. Log on to www.build.africa and sign up. Call 030-80-4007 or 0303-974-832 for more information. Build. Bookkeeping made simple. Results made extraordinary.
Come on. Good boy. Honey, look, he's crawling. Wow. Good job. The new Cerelac Wheat and Maize has the combined goodness of wheat and maize grains fortified with iron, vitamins, and minerals also found in fruits and vegetables. To prepare the new Cerelac Wheat and Maize, just add milk. Enjoy your little one's big moments at less cost. Cerelac, care for them, count on us. This advert is FDA approved.
Bold solution for the future.
On December 7th, let's vote number 1. Let's vote for Dr. Baumia Estroho.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Editions of the Situation Room, and of course our current affairs shows like The Point of View and so on and so forth. Nathan, let's read a few more comments this morning.
Yes, this one says 4 years by this time, Citi FM was telling us about the various campaign songs just to ease tension. Today they are talking about accreditation. Hey! Teresa said that just counting papers and additions, and the EC have found a way to complicate it and made it look bazaar. This one says, but I think the difference this year is that the collation centers are indoors rather than outdoors. You understand that once it is indoor, there should be a limit.
Get a big hall.
But I don't know why they want to put collation rooms inside.
Churches, get
even
big churches.
Church halls can be open
if
you want.
Get a big church hall. It shouldn't be a small room.
This one says there was a security personnel in my house yesterday. While we were talking, she received a list of special voters. She went through it but didn't see her name.
So, yes, quite a number of security people are also voting that day because of this problem of special voting.
I'm sorry, but the GJA president is confused. I think they are also part of the problem with the EC. King said that. This one says the EC should stop telling us it's a listening EC and stick to its mandate. Those who didn't keep telling us that we're listening, whatever, we know their record, and we keep listening to this EC's record.
So as I said, we have special events for you at 3 o'clock. We have an extended version of the Situation Room, which we'll be bringing to you on Citi FM and also on Channel 1 Television. Nathan, there are a few more birthday requests coming through. Some of them came in after we did the first round.
Yes.
So if you could just help me with some of them.
Yes, happy birthday to my son, Nyamedia Kumia Bonsu of Peel Lyceum Community 22. This from Daddy, Mommy, and Kuku. Nyame, you are a big man. That's the message.
All right.
My dearest friend and birthman partner, Khan, who is also the host of Let's Go to the Library on Radio Universe. My prayer for you is to keep on excelling in whatever you do. Have an amazing day from your girl D. So D, send that to Khan.
Let me do this one. Happy 10th birthday to the first fruit of my life, Abana Setre, a Japan of International Community School Accra, from Papa, Mama, Kwame, Kojo, and Grandma Grace. God bless you, Nana. All right, we love you is the message. Thank you so much, Nathan. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Richard Sky. And thank you, Godfrey Akotobafu. Zoe Abubedu Ado. You vote special voting or you vote normal voting?
Normal voting, Bernard.
It's not easy this year. Slow. All right, so let's get into the news. What's the big story?
Coming up, special voting underway across 14 out of 16 regions, and NHIS's free dialysis treatment begins in all accredited facilities nationwide. To the details of the stories now. Now, the